friends. Welcome to yet another interview by the Pathfinders, the career guidance platform created by Viva Life Skills trainers and consultants. Today we have with us an accomplished civil engineer who has been working as a promoter and developer for 2 decades plus. So welcome, Aniruddha Kelkar. Welcome on this show. So Aniruddha Kelkar has been practicing since 20 years plus, like I said, and he and his team have to their credit a construction of 3.5 lakh square feet. That's no mean task. And in the process, they have delivered about 250 residential and 60 commercial projects. He's also recipient of a very prestigious award of Architects Engineers Surveyors Association. So let's move on to him and ask him our usual first question. So Aniruddha, how did you get into this business? How did you choose this field?
Actually, that thing was very much easier for me because mine is the second generation in the business. So in my case, I had decided to join the business since I was in 8th standard.
Oh, I see.
So for the same reason, I pursued civil engineering. I completed my bachelor's degree in civil engineering, and I had a 1-year experience with some other developer, and then I joined my family business in 2001.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you mean to say that if you have a family business only then you can become a developer and you can get into this kind of profession?
Actually, I wouldn't. I would say it's not 100% right. But in current market scenario, it is very much required to have a strong financial background, or at least you should have a good land bank to start the business first.
Right.
Actually, in due course of time, what had happened? We had started with the open plot projects. What I mean by that is, we used to buy a plot. We used to get it sanctioned.
Okay, greenfield kind of a.
Yeah, and we used to design the product and sell it off.
Oh,
but nowadays we are more focusing on the redevelopment of the old buildings, like 30, 35, 40 years old buildings, which are constructed in the late 70s.
Right.
So now we have modified or shift our focus to redevelopment.
Right. So would you say that the scope of being a developer builder is less in, say, populous cities like Mumbai, Pune, Nagpur, or should people be going to smaller towns and have a better scope?
Actually, then the sellability will be a problem. See, what is happening if we are moving to tier 2 cities, the requirement of the houses is very less. So, yeah, it is true that you can get the land at cheaper rates. The investments are less, but the sellability is uncertain. So there is maximum possibility that your project will go in losses.
Oh, I see.
So the thing is what basically previously in I would say 80s and 90s, Pune used to have. I'm working in Pune, so I'll speak more about Mumbai and Pune, or I can differentiate the markets in Mumbai and Pune. So Pune used to be known as a pensioner city previously.
Right. Sure.
And of course, that time also immigration rate was low, but yes, immigration was there. But what happened after 2000? After year 2000, the immigration rate increased drastically because of the IT industry. Previously, Pune was having Bosri MIDC, so there Tata Motors is there. Mercedes had their plant in Pune. So basically, the Pune market was driven by automobile and manufacturing industry.
Right.
In the year about 2000, software companies shifted or started coming to Pune because of Hinjawadi IT Park. Right. After 2000, immigration rate was so high that Pune market grown like anything. And that time we got an opportunity to go outside city limits, that I would say old city limits, and the open land was there, and so we could plan a good projects and sell it off.
Right.
But now what has happened, that the city area has gone so huge, and people are not ready to go that far.
Right.
So we have shifted our focus to city area again, and now we are into redevelopment.
Right. Now tell me, in any profession, when you first begin, there are always teething problems, and you don't overnight start earning a lot of money. So how did it happen with you? What were your teething problems like? And are they common to almost all the people of your business?
Yeah, actually the first problem in our industry is to get a first opportunity.
Right.
It is very hard to get the first opportunity to be in real estate or promoters and developers business, because you should have a good track record first. See, if we just going to get a land and deciding to have a building project that land, then it is very much easy. Right. But nowadays in the cities, metropolitan cities, I would say, like cities in Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, these cities, we have scarcity of land. Right. So we usually call land as our raw material.
Right. I understand.
So we have scarcity of our raw material, that is land.
Right.
So if you are a landlord and if you already have a good land bank, then you can easily get into this business.
Right.
Okay. But for that, you need to have that background to hold the land bank. It's not easy to hold a land bank.
Right.
You will require manpower for that. You should have a capacity to retain those lands. You should save those lands from multiple threats. Like whenever the city development plan is being drafted, you should first look that unwanted reservations are not considered on your land. So there are so many threats to hold the land as well. So you should have all those capacities.
Right.
See, the basic sentence for being into this business is, you should be jack of all. You should know multiple things. You should know finance. You should know engineering.
Right.
You should have very well social contacts.
Right.
You should have good financial background, or at least you should have good contacts. So because of such contacts, you can raise the finance easily.
Right.
You should have. You should be jack of all to get into this business, and it is not at all easy. Starting days are very difficult.
Right.
I joined my father in 2001. But in 2007, I started with my own firm, Kelkar Developers.
Right.
So I know very well. So it's not like the office was set up, the staff was set up.
You had to have your own struggle.
Projects were in line, and I just had to, chalo abhi chalu karte. So it
wasn't like that. So you had to struggle.
Yes. So I know the person who is intending to get into this business should be ready for struggle for years, not for days.
And I think the most important point that you brought out was the financial support. I mean, you have to have a financer.
Right.
So you've been, who are the financiers? Are the banks the only financiers?
That is the worst thing in real estate business. Bank doesn't finance real estate business. Means definitely you can avail a construction finance.
Okay.
But for getting a construction finance, they ask for collateral. So again, to have collateral security, you should have good collateral security. And secondly, to get a construction finance, at least you should purchase the lands.
Right.
Or you should have 2-3 redevelopment projects in your kitty.
Right. Then the bank will finance.
Purchasing the land is an easy task. If you have money, you can go and buy the land.
Right.
But now land is no more the easy.
So easy.
Yeah, it's good. There are so many legal complications in buying the land.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're concentrating on redevelopment, you should have a good track record.
Right, right. No, I can see that. So now, you have already talked about the certain necessities to be in this profession in the first place. So, can you tell us something about the personal skills and personality traits that a person should have to succeed in your kind of profession? Hardworking, yes. Sincere, yes. And
Yeah,
like you said, you should have knowledge of finance. You should be good at marketing skills. You should have a lot of social contacts. So, other than that, is there anything more personal?
the most important thing I would say is patience,
Right.
because our business is dependent on so many factors.
Right.
Like when you are going to get a land, or before starting the project, you should first get a government demarcation. Then you should
Right.
first update your property card. You should first get some 4 or 5 NOCs, and
Right.
then you submit your proposal to Pune Municipal Corporation. I'm in Pune, so I'm taking Pune
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
example.
Absolutely.
So you
Right.
are going to either a municipal corporation or TP as per the zone you are working in, or MRTP as per the zone
Right.
you are working in. So to
Right.
get it done from such these departments
Mm,
requires
mm.
hell of a patience.
Yeah. In fact, I was going to ask you: is it difficult or is it easy to deal with so many departments? As you say, it's difficult. It is difficult.
I
It is
actually I
difficult.
cannot put in to either difficult or easy.
Right.
It's a matter of
But
experience,
but
I would say.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's a necessary peril that everyone has to face, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, right. So well, you started small like everyone else, and then you had 3 lakh square feet is not an ordinary feat. So how did you grow? I mean, what were the contributing factors? I mean, that made you grow?
Actually, I would say recession.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Oh,
recession in
okay.
2005 was a no, not 2005.
2008, 2008.
2008, 2009 was
Yeah,
a
the global downturn. The
contributing
global downturn
factor.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
because
Yes.
that time I was working on one project named Heramba. It was a building about 28, 30,000 square feet, and 22 residential units were there. So I
Right. Right.
started with that project, and after that, in 2000, late 2009 or starting or February 2010, it
Mm,
must be.
mm.
So we got a good opportunity to extend our business in Karvinagar area. So
Oh, I see.
yeah, and I definitely believe that due to that small small dip in market,
Right.
the
Right.
correction was there, so I could get
Right.
it.
So that way, the downturn actually kind of helped you somewhere.
Yes,
The 2008 downturn. Right.
right.
Right. Right. So, if there are young people, I mean, just imagine there are people from say college students who are pursuing their civil engineering. There are young people who have just finished their civil engineering, and there are some of them who are only imagining that someday they will become a civil engineer, right? So these are aspirants of different stages about being a civil engineer, a builder, a promoter, or a developer. So, what would you advise them?
The students who are pursuing civil engineering or looking forward to it, I think they should concentrate more on infra
Right.
rather than into
So when you say
propagation.
infra, are you talking of the government projects or what is it when you say
Yeah,
infra?
most of the projects are government projects,
Government
but
projects, right?
considering the current status of India and the way India is growing, infrastructural projects are going to be huge in next 8-10 years.
Okay.
So that they
So
should
no, no. Can
focus.
I just want to interrupt you here. So if there is a person like you who has a family business, right? And so even if you, for a youngster, even if you enter your family business, there is going to be teething trouble, right? For
Uh,
anyone. So even for a person like that, would you still recommend him also to join the infra projects outside?
no, 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 no. It was not
Right,
my intent. Actually, I
right,
was considering the a student who doesn't have a family background of a promoter and developer.
Right. Sure.
Because there is maximum possibility that a person who has a family background of a developer is going to be a developer.
Right.
And many of the cases, these guys doesn't pursue civil engineering as well.
Right.
Yeah, they just have a MBA degree and they join the business because they
I see.
already.
It is not necessary to be a civil engineer to be getting into this business.
It is an added advantage to be a civil engineer.
Okay.
But many of the time it works as negative factor as well because you get involved in projects more than getting involved in growing the business.
Right. I can understand what you're saying.
MBA guy can run a business better than a civil engineer.
Right.
So
you should have both.
Actually, but I'm happy in my space.
No, that's okay. But I mean, if you have to tell the future young generation, then probably, in fact, these days, whenever I'm interviewing professionals from different fields, there is always a core academic requirement or core knowledge of a particular core domain, and people always recommend that you should have something additional, and that additional is normally a MBA. Let the basic domain be anything, and people always say, "Oh, you do a MBA with that, you will benefit."
Yeah, it is definitely like that. See, when I started in 2000, the times were different.
Right.
That time, if you wish to have a promoter and developer, people used to say, no, then you should construct the building properly first. The mindset was totally different in 2000.
Right.
Now,
So they expected you to be a good engineer. They expected you to be a good engineer first.
Yes. But nowadays, they look at you like a company.
Right.
And now getting a project, selling a project, designing a project are scope of promoters and developers.
Correct.
And execution is no more scope of promoter and developer.
It is.
You can get it executed by a good civil engineer.
Right.
We have a good taste. We have a good vision. We can appoint a third-party inspection.
Okay.
We can appoint third-party project management consultant. And with the help of that, we can assure the quality of the project.
Right.
And so this is what is now trend in the market.
Right. So there are plenty of dimensions to what a civil engineer can do. I mean, one is start his own business, and another is work somewhere. Right. So even if he has to work somewhere in some good company, what are the options that he has?
The options are many. Now, civil engineers are getting very good remuneration with the developers as well with the infra. Now, see, previously the thing was the Gammon India, HCC, L&T, they were
the big ones. Yeah. Right.
And if you are working in a private firm, then you used to get very less salary.
Right.
But now days have changed.
Right.
Now you can get a very good salary at promoter's office as well.
Right.
At a company like L&T is still you are getting a good salary. But your future is with L&T better than a private company. That is going to be there. But after working in a smaller company, you can get an opportunity to work in many areas of engineering. And then it might help you to start at your own. Say, you can start with first step of being you can be a contractor or you can be a project management consultant.
Right.
Because you cannot just jump as a promoter and developer.
Correct. That's right. You will have to take baby steps first. Yeah, you'll have to take baby steps. Yeah.
Yeah. After completing your certain years of service, you can have a smaller consultancy or smaller contracting firm. After getting a 3-4 years good experience after constructing multiple buildings, you can think of putting the shoes of a promoter and developer.
Right. So I think that was good guidance that you've given. Now, I also want to ask you, what is the future trend? I mean, are lot of construction work still happening, or is it like you said earlier that it is the infra projects of the government which are actually going to play a major role? So, what is in store for those youngsters who are going to become civil engineers today? What is the future scope for them?
I would rate infra over promoter and being a developer.
Okay.
Because now the current market scenarios are very stable.
Right.
They are not growing like they were growing in 2004 or 2005.
Right.
First. Secondly, track record plays a vital role for getting the project and for selling the project.
Right.
But given the case in infra, if you are a good engineer and you have a good track record as an engineer, you can easily get into infra project. Of course, you will require other skills as well, like you have to have skills to manage government agencies. But for that, you can start as a subcontractor.
Okay, so you start as a subcontractor.
Yeah, many of the companies are getting projects from government and they are subletting to smaller contractors.
Right, right.
Of course, risks are there. In infra projects, if due to any reason the cash flow gets interrupted, then it's very difficult for contractors.
Right, right.
But comparatively, then the promoters but if you fail in designing the project properly, like designing the product properly, then and if anyone doesn't get into to buy that product, then again it's going to be a mess.
Right.
So to be a promoter and developer, you'll require a lot of experience of selling as well, because it will help you to design a proper product. Now, product sales. Previously, kahihi बांधलं तरी विकलं जायचं म्हणजे असं मी म्हणतो. But now it's not the case anymore.
Now it doesn't work that way, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So tell me one thing: the digital world has had an impact on every single profession that is there. The digital world.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So how has it impacted your profession? And do you think people should be well versed with the digital world to do well in your profession?
Yeah, definitely digital world has significant presence in our business
impact,
as
well.
Yeah. Impact still, yes, impact is also there and presence is also there. Impact in the sense a smaller developer can portray himself a very good or renowned developer by just digital marketing.
Oh,
it's actually one side of it. So branding is playing a vital role in our business now.
So it is becoming important.
Yeah, it's becoming important. I'm not still convinced that you can sell your product by digital marketing. But yes, definitely for your presence in market, the digital marketing plays a vital role nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
So also you must be having a lot of new kind of softwares and new kind of systems, digital systems, which must be playing a major role in your profession.
Honestly, digital systems are not there. They are usual systems which are being followed by each and every agency.
Right.
Means the lead generation and other things which others are doing. The same is the case with our industry. There is no specific software or specific system to digitize the marketing thing.
Right.
Yeah, but nowadays inventory and other things are being digitized drastically, and now we have good softwares for that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, our engineers and our working teams are not still well versed with those softwares, or they are not so used to.
No, are you talking of the ERP? Are you talking?
ERPs are there, but now they are customized ERPs.
Okay.
Now people are designing the programs for construction projects, because the ERPs were made for manufacturing industry. They were designed considering manufacturing industry. So those kind of ERPs were getting failed in construction industry.
Okay.
But now many companies are coming up with a product custom, not customized, designed for construction industry.
Right. Right. I understand. So I think it's been very great interacting with you, Aniruddha. And you have covered a lot of aspects which will be of great benefit to the young aspirants of being a civil engineer or a promoter or a developer. And there is a very good advice that you have given to them that probably in the future they should definitely look at the infra development that is going to happen in the country.
Definitely. I'll interrupt you.
Yes.
You
Yes.
should pursue masters if you wish to get into infra.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, now bachelor's of engineering is not sufficient to get a good job or get into infra.
Right. Right.
The master's degree in engineering will also help a lot.
Right. Right.
MBA, yes, MBA is good for to become a promoter and developer.
Right. Right. And so you also emphasize the necessity of being financially very stable to be in this kind of business. And of course, you said now the diversification is in terms of what do you call it? Redevelopment.
Right.
So there is a lot of scope in redevelopment. So I think all these are very, very crucial, important inputs to our aspirants, and they are going to immensely benefit from this when they watch your interview. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Aniruddha. Thank you for being on our show. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.